Hello, this is Emily Ben's Park in Vancouver, and I met this wonderful artist just by coincidence or luck. And now we are going to talk about some social issues in Vancouver. And he's born and brought up here, so his views on life and different things. So thank you very much for joining.
Oh, thank you. My name is Davey DiCarlo, and I'm from Vancouver, Davey Street Village in the Rainbow Forest. And, it's pretty nice here in the Emery Barnes Park. Emery Barnes was a black politician in Vancouver, and the park is named after him.
Right, thank you so much. So, actually, I have a question for you. It's like I was reading a statistical report which says that every 1 in 2 Canadians over the age of 40 has had a mental disorder. And that's a Government of Canada report. So, like, Canada enjoys almost the highest level of well-being in the world.
Yeah.
It's like the first world. So what are your views about that?
Well, first off, we have somebody that actually is able to look at us because we have our medical covered.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have any higher statistics in terms of mental illness or mental understanding, well, then it's because people are paying attention.
Wow.
Number one,
Mm-hmm.
right? So number two is what is a mental disorder? And a lot of the mental disorder was taken from the books on Freud. But you have to remember, Freud actually was a cocaine addict and, womanizer, and did a lot of things. So, I mean, we have to remember how we're taking a lot of our stats and our statistics and actually putting them into definition.
Wow, wonderful.
Well, I mean, Carl Jung separated from Freud in 1925. They had a huge breakdown. So now we're looking at new ways of discovering what is not mental illness, but mental capabilities.
Mhm.
See the difference? Because mental illness is telling us that there's actually something wrong. Mental capabilities tells us that there are different levels of understanding what our ability is to walk through life.
Wow, these are wonderful. So, where do you see this city? You have seen this city growing into what it is right now. Where do you see this city in terms of mental capability and social integration or other things in, let's say, next 10 or 20 years?
Okay, well, Vancouver is one of the most diverse cities on the west coast of Canada. A large city. We're on the Pacific Rim. We talk about the value behind diversity. We look at a lot of what we call mental instability as being differences of culture. And so it's not about, okay, they can have statistics and you can be linked in with statistics as far as you want to go. But ultimately, statistics doesn't tell us. Right now there's a case down in the United States about a trans boy whose parents say he's not allowed to be a trans boy. And 2 days ago, I did an interview on Davey Street with CNN about this whole issue. And I just literally said, well, the parents aren't always right. Sometimes the kids know who they are. As we're moving into a generation where even fashion design is not limiting, is a boy allowed to dress as a girl?
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
fashion design is changing so dramatically. You can call it a mental illness, or you can look at it as a new creation of the way we think.
Wow, that's so wonderful.
Right.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your views, and
You're
I
very
hope
welcome.
the positive vibe that you spread everywhere just continues to grow. And thank you very much for being with us.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is the
Sure.
positive vibe is not spreading anywhere. The positive vibe is already here. You just have to understand that you're dealing with it and it's already here. It's like unfolding the perfection in front of you.
Wow.
What we think of as imperfect is actually perfect.